Good morning again. Today is the middle of the week, and we've got only two more faction focuses to cover after this one. Three final: Agents of the Imperium, Non-Codex Space Marines, and Titans. And I'm curious to see this because I don't know. It's like a very light group here. The Hands of the Emperor. You know, I gotta be honest. This artwork here is a bit old. It's they might want to redo it at some point. It's as their main look because they've shown off the assassins in artwork later on, and it's really good. So they just gotta make some adjustments. But we got our big four here: the Eversor, Caluxus, Calidus, and Vindicare. Or if the voice acting of Assassin Kingsmaker would convince you, the Vindicare. But obviously, we're going to be seeing a little bit of this. I'm assuming they won't have army-wide rules and things like that. But it's also, Inquisitors and Agents of the Imperium, all kinds of stuff like that. It'll be a little different, as Imperial agents aren't designed to operate as a faction in their own right. You'll find no detachment rule stratagems or enhancements in this codex or index. Instead, their units get to hang out with other Imperial armies where their diverse skills can help mitigate a foe's potential weakness, or force potential weakness. If you need a squad of Arbides infantry scuttling between the feet of your Imperial knights, or deadly assassins removing high-value targets ahead of your Cadian gun line, the Imperial agents have you covered. So, let's see here. How many units of Imperial agents can you include in your Imperium armies to determine the battle size? And character and retinue units have their own allowances. You'll never need to choose between, or never have to choose between Inquisitor Greyfax and her henchmen. As assigned agents, they won't benefit from the parent faction's army rule or detachment ability, but their presence alone is a worthy trade. So assigned agents, if every model in your army has the Imperium keyword, you can include agents of the Imperium units in your army, even if they do not have the faction keyword you selected in the select army faction step. The maximum number of agents of Imperium you can include in your army depends on the battle size as shown below. In addition, you can never select a Vindicare Assassin, Caluxus, Eversor, or Calidus to be your warlord. 2. So you always can use. So all right. This is already 9,000 times easier to understand and simpler than it is currently. It's lovely. Allies have always been rather annoying, and so far, Gene Stealer cults, Chaos, etc., showing off. You can take this many guard units. You can take this many, not guard unit, corn units, and your rural leaders, etc. Nice. So 2 characters, 2 retinue. Done. Perfect. Lovely. Vindicare Assassin, Inquisitor, Naval Breachers, Greyfax. All right. Good catch, I think. All right. So you guys think they're safe? Okay. Awesome. So let us look at the Vindicare. 7-inch move, toughness 4 still, 6-up save. Okay. So they're holding on the invul save, of course. 4 wounds, 6 leadership, and 1 OC. He is an infantry character, epic hero. Epic hero. Oh, so you only have 1. Okay. Smoke. Oh, wow. That's a stratagem, I think. Smoke screen? Huh. Imperium and Vindicare Assassin. Of course, he has a 4-up invul save. Yep. Core is infiltrators, so he can deploy. Lone operative, so he naturally cannot be shot outside of 12 inches. Just by existing. Just by being him, you cannot shoot him unless you are within 12 inches of him. And even if you are in 12 inches, he has stealth, which is a -1 to hit anyway. Okay, all right. Deadshot. Each time this model makes a ranged attack, if a critical hit is scored, add 3 to the damage characteristic of the attack. After this model has resolved and its ranged attack, select one enemy unit that was hit by 1 or more of those attacks. That unit must take a battle shock test. Each time this model makes a ranged attack, if a critical hit is scored, add 3 to the damage. After this model has resolved its ranged attack, select one enemy that was hit by 1 or more of those attacks. So it just says, after it is resolved, its ranged attack, select 1 or more model that is hit by 1 or... What I'm trying to understand is, do you need it to be a critical hit in order to be a battle shock test? I'm thinking no. It just says critical hit means add 3. Also, after this model has resolved its ranged attacks, just its attacks in general. Select one enemy that was hit. Oh, just hit. That was hit by one or more of these attacks. Just hit. Okay. The unit must take a Battleshock test. Shield Breaker. Once per battle, when selecting targets for this model's Exodus rifle, it can fire a Shield Breaker round. If it does until the end of the phase, each time this model makes an attack with this weapon, no saving throws of any kind can be made against that attack. We have found our first ever... Wait. No saving throws of any kind. Oh, Lord. It's not just, I thought it was, my mind went to Invul save, because Shield Breaker, you know? No saving throws of any kind. Oh, Lord almighty. Okay. 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 Wow. Wow. All right. Okay, so let's read the rest. His combat knife is 4 attacks, hits on 2s for 1/1. All right, pretty cool. Just some extra chip damage to stab. All right, now the real money makers. All right, the Exodus rifle and the Exodus pistol. The pistol is 12-inch range, three shots. 3 shots. 2 hits on 2s, of course. 5-2 flat damage 3. It's got ignores cover, of course. Devastating wounds, pistol, and precision. Huh. Okay. And then on a critical hit. So it's on a 6 to hit, it will do flat 6 damage. And then it'll do mortals on wound rolls of a 6. And you can obviously put it towards characters. And it ignores cover. 3 shots with that pistol. Wow, that's actually a lot. That hits really hard. And then the Exodus rifle is 48-inch range, 1 shot, strength 7, AP 3, damage D3 plus 3. And then it has the heavy keyword, which means that you're hitting on 2s, but if you stand stationary, you get +1 to hit, which means you can counteract an opponent's -1 to hit. And then if you happen to roll, okay, so this has got pretty like funny number syndrome, really funny number syndrome, because if you hit a 6 to hit, and you happen to hit a 6 to wound with the rifle, you will be doing D3 plus 6 mortal wounds to whatever you put it as. And if you were just so happened to be shield breaking that target, then they can't take a single save against. Not it wouldn't matter. It's devastating wounds. You know, I mean, obviously it's a really rare chance for that to happen. Having devastate. I mean, honestly, this is pretty darn good at just killing characters. It's not hyper reliable, because anyone who's ever played any kind of 40k game knows that the Vindicare for the longest time would hit on 2s and wound on 2s, and you would still very often miss, because it's a dice game and that's how that goes. But you'll be probably hitting on 2s, most likely wounding on 3s, unless you are fighting like guardsman style characters. All right, like T3 stuff, you know? But the damage is very high, very, very high. And you could just hit them with devastating wounds to go right through their saves, or you could shield break him, which means they just don't get a save. Like if I were to fire at, say, a Skitarii Marshal, right, and they have 4 wounds, for example, I would probably shield break around that and just fire into them. And if I'm not mistaken, the precision keyword does mean you still need to see the character in order to fire. It's a very important part. You still need to see the character if you're firing at the unit. So, and then it even has some support functions like giving out a Battleshock test. And all you need to do is hit. Imagine just shooting that at like a goddamn knight. And your knight's like, ha! A small man with a pistol. You can only select one enemy unit that was hit by it too, so you can't like put 3 shots into 3 separate units with a pistol. Wow, okay, this Vindicare. So the biggest issue you're gonna find with the Vindicare is just your dice. It's just your dice. That's the only thing that you will struggle with is the dice. Everything else is very good and is going to hit very hard. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Damn. Ignores cover, devastating wounds, pistol pursuit. Yeah, seriously. Okay. Last word in long distance problem removal. Their unparalleled action makes them a nightmare for characters who think they're safe hiding amongst their bodyguards. And they can stay safe, so they have to be within 12. Yep. Wow. Now, the thing about the shield breaker round is while it's very, very good and it could just one-shot a character without your opponent being able to do anything about it, it is once per game. And not only that, it is also you need to be able to wound them and kill them with the damage. You know, if you do that against like a Chaos Space Marine character, like sure, you could hit them with on a 2, but will you wound them on a 3? And then after that, will you roll D3 plus 3 damage and properly kill them? Like, what do they have? 5 wounds, 6 wounds? So you got to make sure you roll properly. Okay. He's looking nasty. Inquisitors take more of a supporting role. The battlefield, they're capable fighters, but they're still only human and don't appreciate being placed in too much danger. The paramount ability of an Inquisitor is, insofar as there is such a thing, is Power of the Rosette, aka Inquisitor. Do as I say. This gives a chance to refund 1 command point spent on stratagem for their unit, and since they can join any Imperium battle line infantry units, the possibilities for cut price stratagems activations are endless. Oh, wow. Any Imperium. Okay. So 6-inch move, T3, 4-up save, 4 wounds, and then 6 leadership, 1 OC, infantry character, grenades, Imperium, Inquisitor, a 5-up invul save, of course. And then you've got yourself a leader, that any Imperium battle line infantry unit, which is crazy because that could be like custodian guard. Authority of the Inquisition. When this model is leading a unit, can embark with any transport it's embarked with. Cool. Power of the Rosette. Each time that you target this model, as you know the stratagem on a D6 on a 3-up, you gain a CP. Okay, 3-up's pretty good. And then there's 2 war gears. Blessed Wardings, which is while it is leading a unit, that models in that unit have a 5-up feeling of pain against mortals. Okay. 5-up feeling of pain against mortals is good for the whole unit. And then Psychic Gifts, this bears the Psychic keyword. That will give them the Psychic ability. Gotcha. And then, speaking of, they have a bolt pistol, a combi weapon, which is the 1-shot, maybe 2-shot within range, AP 2, anti-infantry 4-up, and then devastating wounds, rapid fire 1. Also, the Inquisitors hit on 3s. Wow. That's pretty great. Pretty strong. I don't know if there's I guess the lore reason is just that they're Inquisitors and they're very well trained. Psychic Shockwave is devastating wounds, psychic, and torrent. And that would be, I'm assuming you will only get this weapon if you make them a psyker, in which it is 18-inch range, 2d6 attacks, 3/1/1. Okay, so it's a really weak flamer that has a high volume of fire, decent AP, and decent range. But the flamer is really low on strength. It'll be really good at like guardsmen. But the devastating wounds is the big thing. Getting a few mortal wounds here and there coming from it. And then melee weapons, you've got the Inquisitorial melee weapon, which is 5 attacks. Wow, 5 attacks at 4/2/1, or the Force weapon, which is if you're psychic, 4 attacks at 5/2 D3. Wow, they're actually no pushover. Hot damn, the Inquisitors are pretty good. They're a little squishy, of course, but they're a leader, CP back, possibly giving the squad feel no pain against mortals, which is good because we see a lot of devastating wounds nowadays. Psychic ability with a shockwave is one thing, and then wow. Okay, she's looking actually pretty all right, pretty solid. If you're long range, yeah, okay. And then we have breacher teams now, the Imperial Navy breachers. So the Navis Sergeant at Arms, shotgun can be replaced with an opposite power sword, melted gun, plasma gun, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the fancy stuff because it's a kill team box. It's a kill team box, so it's whatever. The one thing, one can be armed with a las volley, the other can be armed with a heavy shotgun and shield, and the rest are armed with shotguns. So they move 6, T3, 1 wound, 4 up, save. Man, I know that AdMech fans are gonna fucking mauled at this. AdMech fans have been so mad about their Skitarii being 5 up save. They've been like seething day in and day out, and the Breachers getting a 4 up save, they're gonna lose their minds. They're gonna just start violently crying in the street and start like puking all over themselves, probably because of the radiation. But 2OC is pretty good. Very bad leadership though, very bad leadership. But 2OC is nice. Infantry grenades, Imperium, Navis Imperialis, Retinue, Imperial Navy Breachers. Breaching team, each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. If the target is of that attack is an enemy unit within the range of an objective marker, you can reroll the wound roll instead. Okay, pretty classic thing we've seen with Gene Stealers and Legionaries so far. The reroll wound roll of 1, but then on an objective it's better. The breaching team is actually rerolling hit rolls of 1 for melee and shooting. It's just an attack. Maybe that's the whole point of them being breaching teams, is that they're breaching. A war gear abilities. The Endurance Shield is a 4 up invul save, and then so that's probably for the who was that? It's the guy with the close the heavy shotgun guy, the guy with the big shield. Yeah, duh. And then the grenade belts, the bearer is the smoke keyword, and each time you select the bearer's unit for the target of the grenade stratagem, roll 1 additional d6 when resolving that stratagem. Oh, okay. I think it gives them about 1 extra mortal wound, I believe. So I think that's how the stratagem works. It's like roll 5 d6s and every 3 up is a mortal or something. So that might be a little bit better. Okay, cool. Weapons, auto pistol, we've seen this. Bow pistol, we know what that does. Demolition charge. Once per battle. Oh, this is nearly identical to the, almost identical to the Gene Stealer ones. Assault blast, hazardous. It is hazardous. 1 shot. 6-inch range. Yeet, big bomb. Melt-a-gun. Navis heavy shotgun is a 4-shot assault weapon. That's pretty good. Las volley is 4 shot 601. The shotgun itself is 2 shots at 401. Plasma gun, of course. And then you've got all the weapons. Regular close combat weapon, chain swords for extra attacks, power weapon for the extra strength and AP, and then the chain fist for strength times 2, AP 2, and then anti-vehicle. Yeah, I mean, honestly, breaching teams might not actually be that terrible if you run them all shotgun heavy. You run them all shotgun and the heavy shotgun with the endurance shield and stuff, and you advance them because they all have assault now, and they just go bop, bop, bop. It's got good strength, bad AP, but some good wound rerolls would be helpful with that strength. And I mean, yeah, they're fine. This is Imperial Navy Breachers. They're fine. They look decent. Nothing particularly crazy about them. And then lastly, we have Inquisitor Greyfax, who is known for her excellent shipping with Saint Celestine. I know who I am. I know what I do. Greyfax, 6-inch move. I have to read to see if they mention it here. Grace the President, one of the most around here is the Imperium, and everyone's favorite mech riding fanatic, Inquisitor Karamazov. Damn, I was hoping for a reference. All right, 6-inch move, T3, 3 ups. Yeah, 3 up save because she has power armor. 4 wounds and 4 leadership. Wow, 4 up leadership. Holy hell. Better than Gilliman. Better than Gilliman. I guess the idea is to make Greyfax be this like just ridiculously unbreakable unbreakable Inquisitor, right? The mental fortitude. Like obviously Gilliman is better. Obviously. But I guess from a game perspective, it's kind of neat to see, even though it's kind of silly. Let's see. Infantry character, epic hero, psycho grenades, Imperium, Inquisitor Greyfax, core leader. All right. Authority of the Inquisition is the transport rule. Syoculum. While this model is leading a unit, ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit have the Anti-Psyker 4-up ability. Ooh, that's spicy. Everything is wounding a Psyker unit on a 4-up, huh? Oh my, oh my, oh my. I still need to figure out the whole psychic keyword thing when it comes to Psychers. Like, I'm sure chat comments, whatever, can tell me, like, if I have a squad of guardsmen and I put like an astropath in them, does that give the unit the psychic keyword, or does that just give the unit the character keyword? But or does it only work when the attacks are allocated to the Psyker, meaning you have to chip away the other chaff first and then the Psyker? I don't remember. I don't quite remember. It's different when it's anti-infantry or vehicle. But still, good anti-psychic stuff. No escape. Each time an enemy unit, excluding a monster and vehicle, that is in with the engagement range of one or more units with this ability selected to fall back, models in that enemy unit must take a desperate escape test as if you were battle shocked. When doing so, if that enemy unit is also battle shocked, subtract 1 from each of those desperate escape tests. So if I'm not mistaken, a desperate escape attempt is when you try to fall back. So there's 2 things with it. The first thing is it's a natural way you can fall back, and it allows you to move over enemy models. But if you have to move over enemy models, you roll a dice, and on a 1 or a 2, I believe your model is killed. That is the whole point of it. So if you are battle shocked and you try to fall back at all, doesn't matter if you're going over enemy models, you will always be taking desperate escape attempts. That's the whole point. And so this would make it so that if they were also battle shocked, it would be 1s, 2s, and 3s if they attempted to fall back, which is very devastating, and one would argue not even worth it unless you had to get guns on them, like you had to. That's pretty scary. Range weapons, we have the Castigation, which is anti-character 4-up, devastating wounds, precision, and psychic. It is a fancy-pantsy psychic attack that is, well, I mean, you can wound characters on a 4-up when you fire it. It's 1 shot. It's got devastating wounds, which is pretty scary. So there's a good chance you just flat out hit a character with 3 mortals, just bam. And then there's also the Condemner's Stake, which is actually nice to see because sisters also have that. Rapid fire 1 bolt gun equivalent with anti-psyker 2-up, precision, and devastating wounds. So also just a lot of anti-psyker, just a lot of anti-psychic power on her. A lot of character sniping as well, especially if they are a psyker. Pretty nasty if used properly. Yeah, pretty nasty. Got some good power there. And then the melee weapon is 4 attacks at 4/2/2. Well, it's mastercrafted. I mean, yeah, there's certainly what's nice is all I care about is that these units can have a use, because I have never seen an Inquisitor for the longest time outside of, I think it was like in Custodes armies and stuff. I think that there was a power that you would use to get rid of Overwatch, and that was used particularly to deal with Zinch Flamers when they were a problem in 9th. But every single, I mean, the Vindicare is looking the best, but he'll probably cost the most also. But everything from the Inquisitor to the Breachers to Greyfax all look pretty solid. They look pretty good, and they actually have a use. There might be a reason to actually use them, and that's nice to see. Word from the studio. Let's see. The Agency Imperium Dashes cover a diverse range of specialists, everything from assassins and inquisitors to rogue traders and adeptus arbites. While you could field an entire army of these eclectic warriors, they have been designed first and foremost as allies for an Imperium army, and the rules presented here cover how to incorporate them for such armies. From Space Marines to Astra Militarum, you'll find the abilities and skills offered by the Agency Imperium data sheets add new utilities and tricks to your force. All right. And then what we got here? Oh, where's Assassinorum Kingmaker? We have Assassinorum Iron Sight, which is a short story apparently by Robert Rath, who I think wrote also Kingmaker, but oh well. Divine Sanction. Also Robert Rath. Wow, he's been writing a lot of Assassin Norm stuff. Hey, let's go. Let's go. One of the best cover arts I've seen on a book. Because, one, you got the cool Vindicare, you got Booba looking Calidus, and then you've also got them hanging off the knight's helmet, which is just such a cool background look. It's so neato. Great book. Very, very good book. Incredible last act. Very fun. But nearing the end, 2 left to go. Tomorrow I'll be looking at 5 Space Marine chapters who consider the Coast more of a set of guidelines than strict rules, and then the Titans for some goddamn reason. Say 5 Astartes, so what is that? Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Death Watch, and Black Templars. Yeah, all right, perfect. And then we'll get to see about looking at a Titan, I guess. Okay, shorter episode this one, but not much to talk about. They all look good. They're flexible. They're easy to understand, and that's all that I really care about. They are easy to understand, and they are flexible, and that's all that matters to me. And the Vindicare is looking mighty shooty. I would love to see what the other 3 assassins look like once their rules come out. Be very excited. All right, tomorrow we are going to have a crazy day of Space Marines, so I will see you all then. Goodbye.